In the late 1970s, Anthony Phillips had boundless creative energy. 7 years after leaving Genesis, he put out his first solo album, and before that year was over, he recorded his follow-up, and at the same time, he had a whole bunch of private parts and pieces stockpiled that would see release in 1978. And he was also starting to work on the collaborative effort, Tarka, that would finally bear fruit about a dozen years later. And from his second album, Wise After the Event, recorded in late 1977 and released in 1978, the track Paperchase. We're hearing some harp there, we're hearing quite a few. There's actually kind of a lean ensemble working this. Thanks to producer Rupert Hine, though, we have a very lush, lavish sound because he knows how to take a little and turn it into a whole lot. He was working that same kind of magic on the Scottish sophistopop trio Cafe Jakes, turning their like just three musicians and just making their sound all just, you know, larger than life.
Find a way to distinguish patterns in the thread of the wind. Pick apart through the rough and tumble. Look within without misgiving.
I really like his vocals on this album. I love that soft tone that he gives it all. Kind of almost androgynous.
Darkness falls on December. Gathered in, we recall. Wait, don't let it weigh you down. Call me, and I'll be right round. Come on, babe. Look where it's from. So call me.
Okay, find a way to distinguish patterns in the thread of the living. So find a way to, distinguish, good from bad in day-to-day life and things you want to follow, things you want to avoid, things you have to cope with, things you can learn from. Pick a path through the rough and tumble. Look within without misgiving. So find your direction through the challenges and find your trajectory and stick to it, all the while without letting the complications obstruct you. Be able to roll with the punches. Don't let them get you down or disappoint you. But persist. Darkness falls on December. Gathered in, we recall. So this is maybe like about holiday get-togethers. Wait, don't let it wear you down. Call me and I'll be right round. Come what may, never wears a frown, so call me. I'm wondering if may has double meaning because it it he does this trick where he combines the end of one line with the start of the next one. And so come what may is said right together, yet may is capitalized at the start of the next line. So he's simultaneously saying come what may, using the phrase come what may, but he's also referring to May as in the month of May. May never wears a frown, because May is kind of when spring is really in full flight. Because maybe we're contrasting May with December. Darkness falls on December, but May never wears a frown. So call me, and we'll treat the world as on wedding days, on and on through the Paperchase. So he's using the wedding days as a metaphor for jubilation or celebration. On and on through the Paperchase. I'm picturing like confetti falling down, you know, during a celebration. Yeah. I'm certainly not thinking of the movie, The Paperchase. Pitch a ball across a dusky courtyard. See the shadows slink away. See the shadows slink away. I love that. Toss a coin into a feckless fountain. In brittle hope, it's your lucky day. Oh, I like that metaphor right there. Into a feckless fountain, in brittle hope. So brittle meaning like the waves of the water once the coin goes in, and yet you're making a wish, and the wish comes true apparently. Winter finds us together. Heaven knows our design. So once again, I'm thinking this is about coming together in the wintertime, coming together with loved ones in the wintertime, escaping the rough and tumble of the more ordinary working months of the year when extended families are apart and such. Hear the little harp, those tinkling notes of the harp mixed with that piano. And those little thin lead, like electric guitar parts right over here coming out of the speaker. oh God, I love that now it's getting more lush and the backing vocalists are supporting him, but I just cannot say how much I love the way that his voice combines like kind of an airy, feminine quality and a very like Anglo kind of register in the tone that I can think of like English folk singers and such, but he's singing from the lungs, and so it's still masculine. I just love that combination of masculine and feminine elements, and very English like character as well. We don't have any drums here, but the cymbals are being used to great effect. They're adding accents to just all the little strings that we're hearing, the like filigree of like harp and acoustic guitar. I wonder, between those two, I imagine that both Anthony Phillips and Rupert Hine can hear really complex arrangements in their head. They can imagine them. And I wonder which one of them had which arrangements in their head. Like I imagine there was a combination of ideas that came together in the studio, even though like Anthony Phillips composed the track. I would like Rupert Hine was such a state-of-the-art producer for this era, and like those cymbals, for instance. I wonder, was that like Rupert Hine's idea? Did he just like hear these arrangements and just imagine, you know, having like a little bit of going here, going there, almost like brushes played against a cymbal or something. Yeah, and then when Phillips wrote it, I wonder how much complexity came to his head, how many little details, like the little pianos and such, when he initially wrote it. Or heck, did he write it on piano or did he write it on acoustic guitar? Yeah, it would just be amazing to be a fly on the wall witnessing all the creative input going into a recording as like lavish and detailed as this, as the magic, you know, was being laid on tape. We've got Rupert Hine. In addition to production, he's credited with backing vocals and modes and vibes on the album. Not necessarily this track per se, but on the album in general. Oboe by Robin Phillips. I didn't hear that here. Guitar, keyboards, other sundries, the Vicar. Anthony, that's the nickname of Anthony Phillips. Drums, Michael Giles. Oh yeah, the great of one of the Giles brothers. Bass by John J. Perry. Yeah, guy was all over the place. Aviator, Caravan. Yeah. And heck, that's pretty much it as far as instrumentalists. See, that's what's so amazing. We don't have many actual people. It sounds as though we've got like twice as many people involved as we really do. But that's the magic of Rupert Hine, taking a little and turning it into something spectacular, because he fleshes out every detail and makes each detail just glisten and bristle with life and luminosity. And I like the message of the song, and it is the closest on this album to resembling like a power ballad. Like that part in the chorus, it almost sounds like something you could hear on soft rock radio. But overall, I think there's a bit too much complexity. It's a bit too musical, and so it's definitely more to be discovered by those of us who are more like serious listeners. Those of us, with who probe in and listen for detail and really absorb and take in all the nuances. Yeah. It's as special to me today as it was when I first heard it at age 19, 26 years ago. I was playing the song back then. I was playing it on headphones back in the room I lived in at the time, and the kind of enactment you saw as I was miming along with Ant was the same way I used to do it back then at age 19. Some things about me have never changed. For more Rubies and Sapphires from Anthony Phillips, from his albums proper, from the Private Parts and Pieces franchise, and see the directory of albums by English A artists, linked in the description below. And follow me on social media and comment about what you liked about the points I made, or points you think I may have missed, or your own kind of observations about this wonderful number. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled tri-maximalist, signing off.